needs to go have a shower after this game, I think. You get cleaned up, Italian gangster. What are you doing? How do you have a level 30 AM? How do you have the mental capacity to play this hero that many times? How do you have the patience, John? I mean, it makes me sick playing one game of AM.
Yeah, I know. There are ways to make AM fun. This is a bit memey, but
really?
AM Blink is pretty fun. AM Blink build is pretty fun. The old, this was before E-Blade was changed, but old E-Blade AM Blink was also really memey.
Yeah.
It's a long time back though, like 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Maybe longer than that, John. We're getting old now. Yeah, time's flying past. Don't flatter yourself with that 4 or 5 years. It's Nexus Titans. They're just grouping up to this bottom bounty route. So they should be able to get away with it. I don't think there'll be a fight to come out here from Ravens for the bottom. They're going to go for the top instead. Nexus Titans. It'll be a 2-for-2. A nice easy start here between these two teams. Wake Me Up is actually going to find Kiritsugu already on the morph. He does not have waveform. So he's going to take a fair bit of damage, but does have the attribute shift. So going to be just fine. Tips coming out between Italiano Gangster and Kiritsugu. I think they understand how funny this kind of matchup is between the two. And while we're here, we may as well start with the top lane. You are going to have Italiano Gangster and Wake Me Up on the AM and Clinks. And of course, Kiritsugu and Nature Lover playing the Morphling Enchantress respectively. Yeah, maybe Kiritsugu doesn't die here, John, but it may not be the easiest lane either.
Yeah, it's not going to be too fun for Kiritsugu to play into this one. Nature Lover will have to prioritize impetus here for sure. And the healing, maybe the enchant if he wants to get a slowdown, but kind of want to just help sustain Kiritsugu and apply that harass in the lane. Because the ench up against the Clinks and the AM does feel pretty damn good. You will win out every single right-click trade. And even the Tar Bomb threat from the Clinks isn't going to be enough. So you can get control that way for Kiritsugu right through the first 3 levels, which is roughly a pretty Morphling. And from that point onward, should be pretty safe into Italiano. So we'll see already. Nature Lover getting good use out of these first few shots, getting some spacing out. So and Kiritsugu is still allowed to farm up for the most part. And taking a look elsewhere though. Mid lane, of course, you've got the Storm versus the Puck matchup, which is fairly straightforward. This one doesn't really shift around too much. The Storm does have a little bit of a better time, as we just generally see Puck doesn't the Puck doesn't crush lanes. It should be able to farm up steadily, but it shouldn't be able to shut down RRL. If it does hit level 6 faster, that's where the kill threat comes out, but beyond that, it's just a steady farm lane.
It certainly is. That bottom lane, there's a bit of a dive going on. Zor's going to go down. Argus able to pick up the kill. Argus, though, dropping quite low, but does de-aggro the tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, Thana cops a blood grenade, has 3 leap charges, and eventually will just pop them to get out. So he's going to be okay on at least the Mirana. Though Zor, of course, ending up feeding up first blood here to the TA. Not going to be the greatest feeling in the world for him as the Axe. He's got a nice cheeky call on Kara, but it's not going to amount to much. So already a very nice start here for Argus. And you know what? He did find first blood in the last game as well. So this man's just finding all the first bloods here in this series.
Yeah, and this is not the easiest lane for Zor to kind of work out. Melee up against TA, pretty easy to line up the side blades whenever you try to walk up the CS. You can't really walk up and try to get a call. You can't really use your spin too well here. So he is actually forced to go for Berserker's Call and Battle Hunger build. Not even a single point in spin. It's not the best thing in the world for an Axe. That's going to impact his early farming and laning presence for sure.
Argus being so aggressive on this TA. Gonna get the Lotus for himself. It's not very often you see a TA chasing down a support Mirana during the laning stage at 3 minutes, but that's exactly what we've been seeing here from Argus. Kara's just making sure Zor stays zoned out, and this is a very annoying lane for this Axe. Like, this Undying just makes his life impossible. Especially because Thana has not been able to really have much impact on the support Mirana so far. So Kara's essentially having completely free reign over Zor. And it's not set to get any easier. He's still got 3 mangoes and another blood grenade left. So the decay spam is still up and running. He does have a level 1 tombstone to boot, so Zor, if he takes a few too many, you could just go for the tombstone dive past the tier 1 tower with a blood grenade. There's not really much in the way of stopping that from happening if Zora isn't too careful.
Yeah, it's a lot of aggression that can come out. It's kind of the same story for both the off lanes here. It's been a rough time for Zora. It's a rough time for Italiano. So the Axe and the AM, not having the best times in the world. This is a little bit more concerning for Italiano, as the AM off lane, it doesn't really want to spend too much time clearing out jungle. And, you know, as an off laner, you're not going to clear that jungle fast anyway, in comparison to the Axe.
Oh. Kara, how did Dana die? He died at the neutral camp, but how?
I think a blood grenade tick must have killed him right next to the camp, perhaps.
Right. Okay. Bit unfortunate, John. I bring this up because he was pulling the creep wave for Zor, but now that wave is kind of a little bit messed up. As mid lane, RRL. He's going to be fine. Here we go. Here's a replay. Maybe we'll get to see it. And it was a blood grenade into the decay, and he just denies himself. Fair enough. There you go. Makes enough sense. Sad part is, though, again, he did lose that pull that he had going. So now the Tombstone's going to be dropped bottom lane. Chase on to Wake Me Up top lane, but he's going to be just fine. I guess the Tombstone is going to do a decent job of zoning them out of this tier 1 tower, so Argus can get a lot of damage onto this tier 1 bottom tower. But not quite enough to even threaten its life, to be fair. Dana again is going for the pull. Where's this Mirage going to take this creep wave? Like, is he just going to stack them? Is that the idea? Just to stack the creep wave? Argus will just chase him down. That's a lot of damage with the meld. And neutral creeps do deny him off at least. And Argus, he'll get out of it. He's back to the lane.
He does miss out in some form, so it's a lot of space being made there by Mirana just to give Zor a scale up on Yax. Has a Ring of Health, so he feels a little bit more secure. Once you have the Vanguard, you're going to feel a lot better in that lane. Same thing kind of goes up top. Italiano just wants to hit that same timing, but slower going for the AM for sure, as you're just not, well, you can't really clear out these creep waves too much, and this is why AM still goes Battle Fury, no matter what patch it is. But as an offlaner, you're not going to be able to do that. So that's really the concern here for Ravens. Like Italiano, if he doesn't get his itemization and levels up, in comparison to Zor, who can clear out camps, AM has no real catch-up outside of kills. So whether or not Italiano can even find that is another question. And I'm not sure if we're going to see the solutions for that AM, for his rough game anytime soon here.
Well, bottom lane, a bit of a fight over the wisdom room between Kara and Thana. Thana, trying to be as annoying as possible. He's going to be able to pick up the wisdom rune at least, so he gets away with that. Does commit all his leap charges to try and get out of this situation, and does make it. Meanwhile, Argus, he's going for a pretty deep dive in. Arrow is not going to land. That is unfortunate. Blood Grenade is going to hit Argus, and now the rotation from Desperate. Oh, but he misses the coil. Whoopsie daisies. Misses out on the extra kill in Kara. Because at least he ends up getting the kill onto the TA as top lane. The Morphling going to go down. Kiritsugu. They try to go past the tier 1 to get Wake Me Up. Eventually, RRL just makes the exact same rotation as the puck. And, well, for him, he does get a double. So he's a much happier mid lane.
It's a little bit better coming out here for Ravens. And sacrificing your TA is pretty big, but you find a Morphling, you're getting 2 kills in your Storm. And that tempo for RL should kick in. Yeah, I mean, he already has the Falcon Blade. Some early region on hand. Should feel pretty good. Invis Rune down bot as well, so Desperate can kind of pick that up with a top-up from Nature Lover to cap it all off. And RL's left with 0 charges, which doesn't feel great. They're clumping around mid. No coil to play with. No easy setup for the arrow, but could look to play aggressive here regardless.
RRL, see if he can try to juke out any kind of incoming arrow. Very hard angle to notice the arrow coming in behind the tier 1 tower. They are being very, very patient. Dream Call is now up, so that should help them try to go for this kill. Can just dive the tier 1 tower. There's your Dream Coil. RRL making it very hard though, just sticking around that creep wave. Arrow's gonna hit a creep. Silence is there, but they don't have the damage. Wake Me Up. Now gonna TP in to help out, so RRL does secure a kill. Desperate is still trying, but he needs to be very cautious, though RRL has dived in without mana. But the Fairy Fire, still Blood Grenade, and the Silence gonna ensure he does go down. So in the end, the Storm does overextend and does end up giving his life away. Pretty rough kill attempt though on the Storm, to be fair.
It takes a lot, and you find a pick off in the end, but it does, again, open up the map more. Argus has a free time because you're focused on mid. Up top even, some aggression coming out from Wake Me Up, starting to drop him a little bit low. It is still an important kill to find. I think the RL is the hero you want to slow down, for sure. As the Storm, when it can get off uncontrolled, it's
top
pretty
lane.
scary. Sulu.
Yeah, he gets the Strength Morph off in time, but RRL can still chase. He'll go after Thana. Go for the easier pick off. Get something for your time. Meanwhile, bottom, Zor again just not having a game. As an axe spammer myself, John, this is one of those games where you've just got to hit the jungle and get some stacks going. There's no other way to play this. Like, he can't keep going back to the lane. There's just no way. Thing is as well, like, he's going to be so late with his timings. I just don't know what impact this axe is going to have with this raid.
Yeah, it's rough. That's where the draft of Raven shines up against Nexus Titans. If they can control the map early, prevent that jungle play from hitting in, then you've got an axe, a Morphling, potentially a Puck that will need to play catch up somehow. At least the Puck with its slipperiness can still work the lanes. The Morphling as well, to an extent, can work the lanes, but without stats, this hero feels pretty rough, especially into the AM matchup. So there's certain things that can slow down for the side of Titans if they're not too careful. You get the bottle top up mid for RRL. He is lagging a little bit behind on that Storm, but not too far behind the Puck, although it's a decent enough lead from Desperate. And he is shoving in mid just freely, no contestation. Again, no control from the side of Ravens, so a pretty free time for Desperate to just do what he wants here.
Bottom lane, Argus. He's just going at it. Zor is down. How much can Argus get out of this? It was a 1v3, now a 1v2. Desperate, dropping low himself. They actually can't deal with the TA. Now Thana comes in to ensure they can get the kill. All right, they'll get him eventually, but my God. That was tough.
A
Kiritsugu,
lot longer.
top lane, running out of mana. Is going to wait form out in time, but now he's completely out. Chase is on from Italia and a Gangster. He's got just enough with the stick charges to keep going with the Strength Morph. Meanwhile, Kara getting caught by the call of Zor. Still very, very tanky. Kiritsugu going to be safe for now, by the way, on the Morphling. He will make it out. Is Kara going to die? It's taken that long to kill off his Undying. He finally goes down.
Yeah, they don't get the chop, unfortunately, through Razor, but they find a kill. They find a punishment for that pretty deep commitment inside of Ravens. Not finding that core kill they really wanted there. DD is picked up by RL from all of that, though. No one contesting mid-rune. So you will find yourself with a pretty big boon for the Storm to start to play aggressive on if they see that opportunity. Argus just constantly playing on the side of Ancient Camp, keeping waves shoved out down bot, knowing that he's got the room from his teammates moving around. Already has a pretty quick blink coming out here on the TA. So you're hitting that initial timing. You can start to connect here on the TA. You will want your Desolator to be up first to really feel great, but we'll see what Argus feels like. RL, Kara smoking out here.
Yeah, they are. Having a gander. There's going to be a smoke-on-smoke situation. Wrap around here from Ravens. Nobody going to find... They're not going to find each other. Zor, top lane. This guy might get caught again. He's in that farm, that safe farming spot to boot, which is the real upsetting part here for Zor, is he just can't catch a break. Call is there onto RRL, but he's got plenty of mana plus a DD rune. So there's really no escape from the storm. He will go down. Rotations are now here. We'll try to start with Italiano Gangster. A lot of damage has been dealt. In fact, Nature Lover will get the job done. But they cannot continue the fight underneath the tombstone as RRL. He'll just keep going. He's found the edge. Maybe not so much the puck. So again, he is quite low on mana. But it's still a successful exchange of lives here between Ravens and Nexus Titans, at least for Ravens. And Zor, I mean, I don't think it's his fault this game's gone so badly for him on the axe. You know, the landing stage was just horrific to have to try and play for him. And it's only getting... Oh, John, look at this. They're stalking him. Kiritsugu goes down in the meantime, but who cares about that? Somebody help Zor. And this is upsetting me now, John.
He got dunked. He got dunked.
He dunked himself.
He got the counter spell dunk.
Look at that, John. He's got +1 armor. He's got the cold armor on the AM. How great that is. He's literally unkillable now.
Now +1, just can't die. This AM, too tanky. And somebody stop that madness with counter spell. 1 armor, 1 too much, Mike. Step too far. We've got
it is. Wake me up. There's a lot of wards in that courier if you wanted to just snipe it, but instead they're going to try and go after the actual hero. Nature Lover will get caught. No real chance of survival for him as RRL will claim his 7th kill of the game. Top lane, they have at least found Italiano Gangster. Not quite enough yet to take him out. Desperate still trying, but the tombstone is here from Kara. So Desperate is forced to back his way out of there. Kara is actually still chasing a little bit longer. Italiano Gangster has Mana Void up in 4 seconds, so the puck is playing with fire now. Jump is there. Italiano Gangster just needs the R. Can't get in range for it. Ward's down. They're playing with fire again, and Desperate's gone. Oh, he dies on the AM, but it won't matter. Very nice from Kara to put the ward down. Meanwhile, Zor will barely survive in the mid lane. Dana almost looked like he was trying to line up the side blades against the axe there, John, for a moment. With his own team against him. Poor old Zor just can't get to break. Kara's going to survive the onslaught here from Nature Lover. Waking Up's going to scout out the Ench again. And RRL is going to enjoy himself a free kill.
It's always funny when an enchantress right before dying gets the enchant off, asks where are you going, then dies. It's quite poetic from Nature Lover there. Does get burned down by Wake Me Up.
This guy's going to be careful. I mean, yeah, there was a dive on Kara, but mid lane, Zor's got to be careful. He can't keep showing in the lanes like this.
He doesn't have too much to play with. I mean, you're trying to give all the jungle out to Kiritsugu. So someone's got to cop the short end of the stick, and Zor is that player right now, unfortunately. He's having a rough start, and he's eventually going to get this blink up at very least, so he'll have the blink call ready at some point.
Bye-bye, Zor. At some point, John, is the key words there, I think. Argus, though, has gone very far forward. He sets up a nice kill for his team. So yeah, he dies on the axe, but who gives a crap about that? He just basically secured Argus's life. Happy days.
Yeah, a little bit reckless to jump that far forward, and just wanting that fast kill on the axe. Does get punished for it, and Kiritsugu's around to soak up that kill as well. Picks it up himself. Set on Morphling with a defensive Linken's up, with a Manta coming through. Starts to become a bit of an issue here.
Mid lane, Coil committed. Kara going to be targeted. Kara gets the tombstone in time, so now they can try to get the fight going here as Ravens. Jaunt away from Desperate towards the south, but RRL is just continuing to chase on the puck. Barely misses out for now. The blink away was there. Desperate has another orb to jaunt away with. Will go down towards the south once again, but Italiano Gangster is going to be there with his own blink now. It's Desperate. Has his blink up in 2, but Wake Me Up's going to find him, but oh, not quite. He doesn't get a hit off. The puck is still running. Desperate should be just fine. It's just so hard to catch this damn hero. Wake Me Up. He's still stalking the puck. He's going to find him, but he needs help. He can't do it on his own. Meanwhile, top lane Argus just casually taking down Nature Lover. This Wake Me Up is still chasing Desperate. Gonna try. But the puck, obviously, just not really going to die. He's fine. Top plate, Zor. He's going to get a call TP. He's okay.
He bails out. He's got room. He's going for the blade mail first, so that could put a little bit of a dent into Argus, looking for his first place. The call starts to be much more impactful. They find the angle. Waking up, still tracking here. It's not leaving this puck alone.
To be fair, it is a support clinks, right? So he may as well zip in RRL. He finds the target he wants, but the coil is committed. Italian a gangster. Not going to chase either, just leaves the puck be. It almost feels like Ravens are just having fun at this point in this game one.
Yeah, it does feel that way. I do feel like this game, having fun here up against a Morph, can be pretty scary. Although,
the top side Zor does get a call off onto 2. This could be a great setup here for his team. Argus proving to be a little bit too tanky though, so Zor might just be going down. Mech will save for now, but not for long, I don't think. Though Zor has been left alone, but never mind. Wake Me Up will take it. Mid lane, the dive into the tier 2 tower. They'll find a third and Thana. The Nexus Titans, I mean, yeah, you still have a Morphling you can try to rely on, but that's against the position 3 AM who's building a diffusal blade to make matters even worse for him. Italian a gangster, gonna be fine to just blink away from Kiritsugu and Desperate. As time goes on, this Ravens lineup, it's only getting stronger. And I feel like Nexus Titans, they aren't really developing too much here with this draft.
No, they haven't. They've not been able to find these item timings you need on Zor. Desperate has been doing a good job of being slippery on the puck, but there's no follow-through for the puck to be that slippery. Your Morphling's not doing enough damage just yet, and your sports aren't really at the point where they're dealing that much magical output themselves. Whereas in comparison for Ravens, you know, Waking Up is saving up for his full Orchid. You've got a lot of impact out from Carry in the middle of these fights with really good tombstone placement as well. He just needs to hang around the cliff areas, and if the fight breaks out, well, tombstone on high ground. You don't want your Morphling hitting that. You don't want your puck hitting that. Your Axe can't hit that. They just have no solution for this area denial right now from Ravens. At least until the items start flowing in where you get more attack speed, it can start feel comfy. Now, Taliano, full diffusal up, as you mentioned there, going for the Yasha into the Manta. The M's going to be a really big issue in multi-mana here.
Nature Lover. Jump is there onto the edge. Zip forward. Is out. RRL not able to pick off Nature Lover. In fact, Zor with a very nice call into the Blade Mail. They might have RRL here, and they will. The Storm is down. Kara also getting caught on the Undying, trying to buy as much time for himself as he possibly can, but not going to be anywhere near enough. So a successful fight now for Nexus Titans. It's a big dive was there from Ravens. I think we saw a similar thing in game one. Just sometimes these overly confident dives end up working against Ravens, and that's what it felt like that time around as well.
Yeah, just getting a little bit too cocky, not respecting the counter fight from Nexus Titans. Really unfortunate that RL got caught in the edge of that Berserker's call. That cut off the Storm. He popped his DD trying to regen through, and the leash was out with the coil.
Kiritsugu.
So you can see some of that, huh?
Yeah, he was silenced there for a moment, John. I thought they might have had a chance to snipe him. It was on 900 HP pool, but no lucky crit for Argus, so not quite enough damage. It's like Ravens, they might just group up and go through bottom lane now. I mean, why the hell not?
I think you actually do have to play pretty clean here on Ravens. Again, there's a timing where the side of Nexus Titans can win this game. Roshan is in their control though. With the Detsu up, this shouldn't take too long onto that objective. We will get the double meld stacking up here from Argus. Side of Titans not going to contest. They can easily contest there if they group up, but not getting a good read onto that. RL just poking on the lanes to ensure that the puck can't scout out. So good spacing coming out there from the Ravens to get the stun. And with the Aegis up, this should lead them into the high ground. If they don't actually manage to poke through these tier 2s into high ground, I get concerned with the space coming out here for Kiritsugu. Like, once he hits that Ags, this Morphling becomes a bit of an issue. You're also eventually just going to hit this blink on Zara, on Zor. So once he has that blink up, like, the Axe can make some plays. And despite not having much to play with, I mean, just a one good call has been enough to kind of set things up here for Nexus Titans ways.
That big comeback is going to happen. The bottom tier 2 tower going to go down pretty easily here. Wake Me Up and Argus take care of it, though top lane, Coil has been snapped, but Italiano Gangster is going to die. Let's pick up here for Nexus Titans. Tormentor will be taken on the dire end of things by the Radiant. You won't really see a similar thing happening at the Radiant Tormentor quite yet. Seems like they aren't quite confident going after the Tormentor. Instead, they'll take over the Radiant Triangle. Well, maybe a bit of a quiet period, but there's your Daedalus now up on the TA. So Daedalus and Aegis up. It probably is your best chance to group up and go for a big fight now as Ravens. Try to go high ground off the back of a good fight, I'd say. Plenty of burst damage now available.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Should be able to start to melt through these heroes a lot faster. And Aegis still up for 3 minutes. Not much for Argus to be scared of. Going for the mid-tier 2, last outer tower now for the side of Nexus Titans. And that should establish the control they need. I like that you're also rushing the Ags here for RRL, understanding they need a lot more control. So just AoE Vortex to help set up these team fights. Maybe a Hex coming out right after can simplify the game for the side of Ravens to get that hold. And not quite giving too many openings. I mean, yeah, you lose Italiano. It's an offlane AM. You don't care too much. As long as Argus doesn't die 2 times in a row, you're pretty happy here.
Yeah. It seems like Argus is not going to commit with his team to go high ground. They're just going to take the T2 tower. That'll be pretty much it for now. If Nexus Titans more time to be able to find a way back into this game, as they are going to go for a 4-man smoke now, running right towards Kiritsugu, but no, mid lane. They have found the TA. This could be the first life to go down. RRL in the backside going to jump the supports immediately onto the Mirana. Moonlight Shadow was popped preemptively though, so they do have the Imbius to play with. Meanwhile, Wake Me Up does go down, but they still are yet to lose anyone on Nexus Titans, as RRL is going to get Dream Called up on the Storm. Another call from Zor, going to hold down RRL, and he's gone. A great fight from Nexus Titans off the back of the blink of Zor. And, well, for Ravens, they've got to find another time to fight, it seems, because they've lost the Aegis.
They lost the Aegis. They don't group up for that fight. And Italiano's just off farming. Doesn't really manage to contribute. At least they find Mirana to make up, but it doesn't quite compensate for that entire chain of events yet. Inside of Ravens, and have to clean it up. Giving these openings out to Nexus Titans means they could play a game 3 here. And who knows what happens in a game 3 in any DPC. It can go either way. I don't know, like Italiano's got to step it up. He is coming in now.
He certainly is. The puck will get caught. That's a great kill. Desperate down. They can move on to the Ench now. Nature Lover. I mean, he's a tanky boy with the untouchable. Has the Nature's attendance as well. Is it going to make the difference? Well, certainly not. It's very clear the stronger team still seems to be Ravens, even just based off the draft. RRL now top lane going to zip in onto Kiritsugu. It's really trying to drag this out as long as possible here on the morph. Lincoln's is now broken. RRL still slowing him up. And with the silence out from Wake Me Up, that's going to be another kill. Another huge kill. In fact, Argus will take the morphling. And it seems like they're about ready to get serious here. The Ags is up now on RRL, the Orchid up on the Clinks. Things are starting to heat up.
That they are. And the one thing that the Ags does mean, though, is that you don't have a Lincoln's break for that Morphling, so it can be a little bit rough trying to get that Orchid off. But just instant control might be more than enough with the burst damage coming out here on Argus. Look for more.
Nature Lover copying the brunt of this damage here from Argus. Their call is nice, but the Vortex from RRL is even better. He found 2 targets. They've got the puck as well. Zor to go down as a 4th. Thana trying to run, but the Mana Void stun is out from Italiano Gangster. Full team wipe for Ravens. And off we go onto the high ground. Why not? Nobody's there to defend. Nothing that can be done.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They fortified their own creep wave as well. Morphling does respawn, but without the rest of his team, he's not going to achieve too much here. At least has the axe to take away some agi and attack speed from Argus. So this push isn't as fast as it could be, but still not going to be able to stop that onslaught. Mid down, bot to go next from Argus, moving down here. And again, just no real response can come out from the side of Nexus Titans. They respawn close enough that the Ravens will back off and respect that, which is fair. Full MKB up and running for Argus. So even more ways to pierce through from the eventual butterfly that Kiritsugu wants to build up. And more attack speed. Now the stat steal doesn't feel as scary. The Morphling does shift into you. Butterfly kind of compensates for your lost agi and attack speed to an extent. Wake me up. It's trying to go hunting. Scanned out. Ooh,
Oh,
nice
breaks the
smoke break.
smoke. Oh, no dust popped. So they didn't realize the Clinks was around until it was too late.
Stupendous.
And they're gonna try to still make their way down south, but it pretty obvious the fight was incoming, so of course Ravens, they back their way out immediately. Very, very hard to smoke against the Clinks. So the jump is not going to be there, but it will be out from RRL. Onto the edge again. Nature Lover will survive the initial damage here from RRL, who's quite low on mana now as a Storm. So they will try to move it onto the TA, but Argus is fine to blink out of there. Ravens, do they want to keep the fight up? Like, they're quite low on mana here on the Storm, but he may still make the call to just go. Mana regen not looking too bad, and they see Kiritsugu in the mid lane. Mind you, there is a smoke here from Nexus Titans. Nexus Titans still hanging around the right side of this mid lane. It seems like they're just going to play it safe. Just hold this position for now. The Ravens not looking to make a big jump in without vision anyway.
Play it safe. They can just wait out next Roshan. A little bit of a longer timer here. Close to the 3-minute mark on a respawn. So lots of time to stall out for Nexus Titans to try and get some more items up. Might be able to get into the butterfly before the next Rosh. Desperate chasing.
Kara? Yeah, they got the Undying, but there's still a tier 1 tower to TP to. So Kara's not going to be alone here. Argus is already waiting in the wake. Wake Me Up shows up. So does Italiano Gangster, blinking right in onto Desperate, who's been silenced up. Zora is there, but a huge vortex in from RRL. Oh, they are just melting. Nature Lover, run. Oh, it's not safe. This Ags on the Storm making life so hard. There's only one left. It is Kiritsugu. The chase is on. He'll at least have the AM morph to go into. But Italian Gangster's keeping up the vision, draining all the mana of the morph. Wake Me Up now showing up with an Orchid. Argus even jumping in with the Ogre Seal Totem. Maybe thinking about diving Fountain at this point, but Kiritsugu is going to be alright. He'll blink into the Fountain. He'll be fine.
Does bail out, but the solutions are coming in from Ravens. They're taking these fights really well. The positioning of RRL to get these zips, to get these big vortexes off. It's the opening they need. It's their one team fight tool, and they've been utilizing it well on the side of Nexus Titans. Bot racks to fall, no contestation from the Titans. For the Titans part, at least they are respawning, so they can try to force something out here.
Absolutely. Nexus Titans. Find Kara. Zor actually misses the call onto the Undying. Meanwhile, the puck was caught out. Desperate to get out of this one because he's one hit away from dying. He'll barely make it out with the blink. Meanwhile, the crap allies on his own tombstone, Kara, trying to survive himself. Zararel again in with the Vortex, already fighting one. Now the double Vortex, fighting the Morphling. Kiritsugu, get out of there. You'll barely make it. Zor, in the meantime, also needs to escape.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Jump in from Argus. Shreds one. Shreds another. Some very nice crits here from Argus.
I'll give them a drubbing they'll not
2 down without buyback, and I think Nexus Titans are starting to realize this game is probably over. They'll try a couple more times, maybe.
Yeah, it's a rough one to bounce back to now. 2 racks is down, 27k lead for Ravens. Roshan open for the side of Ravens if they want to fall back for that as well. His Argus isn't quite the healthiest here, but probably doesn't even care. And RL's ready to go. Just needs to kind of make it towards there. Only 2 heroes left here. So they will back off, pay their respects. And there is still the Rosh option to take if they want. Rosh number 2 this game with the cheese ready to go. And that could just make it impossible for the Titans to come back in. And they have 1 racks to fall back to at the least, but with how these fights are breaking out, with how great RL's zip vortexes are, it doesn't feel like you have that much room. There's a lot of pressure on Zor to get a blink call off, but it's easier said than done. You know, like the angles RL can find are a lot safer, a lot further away, whereas the Axe, it's just kind of exposed. You've got Wake Me Up who can scout you out, who can figure out that positioning of the Axe, of the puck. Just ensure that the counterfight's not there at all for Nexus Titans.
Here we go again. Wake Me Up.
Are scanning.
Not going to find anyone quite yet. Meanwhile, Roshan just being done casually here by Argus. So Roshan will go their way. No problems here for Ravens. We're going to go through the top lane now, just trying to secure the Megas and put an end to this game too. It's going to be up to Nexus Titans to try and find a way to defend this. Not going to be the easiest task in the world.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
And Nexus Titans not even in position to really defend yet. They'll have to start TPing very, very soon. So T3 tower now is under siege thanks to Argus. And it's just gone. It is literally down.
tower has fallen.
That quickly.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Doesn't take too long to find a range rack cider. They managed to hold on to the melee. 1 rack's left. I don't think the side of Ravens are backing off anytime soon. Refresh ready on RRL. Double Vortex on hand once more.
We go again. Kiritsugu jumped, silenced immediately. Just everything being thrown, and now the Vortex out from RRL into the double Vortex. Oh boy, it is as good as over, I think, here, Jonathan.
Oh, RRL.
Megas are up. RRL, he might die, but they've got the Megas. They're happy. Nexus Titans have not called it yet. They might just keep going. But Ravens, they are not backing off. There goes Zor. The axe is down. Desperate trying to jump in. Kiritsugu just trying to deal with the tombstone. Does get rid of it. Jump in again from Italiano Gangster on the offlane AM. Kiritsugu with the chase. Italiano should be just fine. Meanwhile, the T4 towers have been focused here by the TA. Argus just manning up, takes down Zor, should drop surely, but has the Aegis. In fact, he will go down, but look at the damage he's dealt. That's it. GG well played his call. Desperate has seen enough. And they're just diving Fountain now. Kiritsugu can't even survive this, I don't think. It seems like they'll give up on the chase. He will make it in the end, but GG is there. Ravens, a 2-0 victory here over Nexus Titans.